Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. We're glad that you're here. I'm Steve.
And I'm Scott.
And together, we're Backyard Musings Science and Technology Channel.
Yeah, and we're talking about an interesting topic today regarding the ocean and some research done here in the US of A, which is kind of unusual lately. We've been talking about a lot of other places, but here we go.
Europa's ice may be quietly delivering life-sustaining nutrients to a hidden ocean beneath the surface. Geophysicists at Washington State University have uncovered a possible explanation for how nutrients may travel into the subsurface ocean of Europa, a moon of Jupiter, that ranks among the strongest candidates for extraterrestrial life in the solar system. The study was published in the Planetary Science Journal on January 20th, 2026. Would you like to know more?
And so Jupiter has 4 distinct moons. We were just talking about that the other day, but then you said about 40 or 50 total moons, right?
Yeah.
Europa is one of those distinct moons that I think you can see if you're looking at it with a telescope.
So. One of the Galilean moons.
Gotcha. For decades, researchers have questioned how essential nutrients could move from Europa's surface down into its ocean, which lies buried beneath a thick layer of ice and is thought to host microscopic life. Using computer simulations inspired by a geological process on Earth called crustal elimination, crustal, C-R-U-S-T-A-L, the team showed that heavy, nutrient-rich ice can separate from surrounding ice and sink downward until it reaches the ocean. Well, that makes sense, right? Because it's not really like an ice cube. It's got stuff in it. If you put a rock in an ice cube, it's probably going to sink, right?
Yeah. And I was watching something on Antarctic, and there's rivers and lakes under those glaciers, and there's a part called the Blood Falls, and it's because of iron was trapped in a certain portion that's starting to break off into the ocean, and it's red from the iron hitting the atmosphere, and it looks like blood. But but I can understand how nutrient-rich stuff, can get down to the water.
Yeah.
Quote, "This is a novel idea in planetary science inspired by a well-understood idea in earth science," said Austin Green, lead author and postdoctoral researcher at Virginia Tech. Continuing the quote, "Most excitingly, this new idea addresses one of the long-standing habitability problems on Europa, is a good sign for the prospects of extraterrestrial life in its ocean."
The study was authored by Green, who carried out much of the research during his doctoral dissertation at Washington State University, along with Catherine Cooper, an associate professor of geophysics in the School of Environment and associate dean in the College of Arts and Science. Okay.
Europa contains more liquid water than all of Earth's oceans combined. However, that vast ocean sits beneath a global ice shell so thick that sunlight cannot penetrate it. Because of this barrier, any organisms living in Europa's ocean would need to rely on chemical sources of energy and nutrients instead of sunlight, a challenge that has long puzzled scientists studying the moon's potential habitability.
Oh, we got some of that on the Earth too, right? I mean, we've talked about life in the depths of the ocean where there's no light at all, and there's things living down there. So
yeah, this YouTube I watched, they cored down 2 kilometers, a mile, where there's no light, and they found little plankton things, or I'm saying it wrong. They found little organisms moving around and stuff.
Europa also endures constant exposure to powerful radiation from Jupiter. This radiation reacts with salts and other surface materials, creating compounds that could serve as nutrients for ocean-dwelling microbes. While multiple ideas have been proposed, researchers have struggled to explain how this nutrient-rich surface ice could move through the ice shell to reach the ocean below. Even though Europa's surface is highly active due to Jupiter's gravitational influence, most of the ice motion occurs horizontally rather than vertically, limiting direct transport to the ocean.
So I don't know if it snows on this moon, but this thing I saw in Antarctica, you'd snow, and then that turns to ice, and then the next keeps snowing, turns to ice. Snow, so it starts to compress, and there's whatever atmosphere is trapped in little bubbles or whatever else is on the surface, and it keeps compressing over time and over time and over time until it reaches the bottom, because it's melting. That ocean is melting the stuff from underneath.
Okay.
To address this problem, Green and Cooper turned to a process commonly observed on Earth. Crustal delamination occurs when a portion of Earth's crust becomes compressed and chemically altered until it grows dense enough to detach and sink into the mantle.
The researchers suspected a similar mechanism could operate on Europa. Certain regions of the moon's ice shell are rich in salts and increase ice density. Previous studies also have shown that ice containing impurities is structurally weaker and less stable than pure ice. For delamination to take place, this weakened ice must be able to break free and descend deeper into the ice shell.
The team proposed that dense, salt-laden ice surrounded by pure ice could slowly sink into the interior of Europa's ice shell, effectively recycling surface material and transporting nutrients into the ocean. And this doesn't happen overnight. It takes time for that to work its way down. Their computer models reveal that this sinking could occur across nearly all salt concentrations as long as the surface ice experiences even a small amount of weakening.
The simulations also showed that the process could unfold relatively quickly on geological timescales and repeat over long periods. This makes it a potentially reliable way to replenish Europa's ocean with nutrients, improving the likelihood that life could survive in its dark, hidden waters.
These results align closely with the objectives of the Europa Clipper mission, a NASA flagship spacecraft launched in 2024. We talked about that last year.
Yeah.
Or maybe 2 years ago. The mission aims to study Europa's ice shell, subsurface ocean, and overall potential to support life using a wide range of scientific instruments. Love it.
Yeah. Hey, and not to get on another tangent on space, but they're getting closer, if they haven't already. They launched that spacecraft that's going back to the moon, or is that?
I don't think so. We'd have heard it had been hyped a lot. We'd have heard about it.
Yeah, it's getting close.
Yeah,
they're counting down.
February this month. Yeah,
that'll
we
be
got
very
windows.
cool.
Remember, they have windows.
Right.
At the time. Yeah.
Yeah, but that'll be very cool to watch. I'm sure we'll be talking about that when it happens. So, anyway, great story.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you this afternoon. Thanks. Take care.